All right. Um, so, fall session of Next Steps for the Ambitious Beginner. I think it's sort of a funny name because we're all ambitious beginners. I think a lot of it, though, comes when we start to play duplicate, when we start to play competitively, and find out what a gas the game really is. You can play bridge at the kitchen table forever and have a great time, but I think when you move into competing in clubs and in tournaments and online, the game changes a little bit. Um, the play of the cards is ancient. I mean, this is what we're going to talk about in terms of card play is nothing new, right? It's been around for hundreds of years. It is also we're talking about beginners and basic techniques, but these are techniques that last your lifetime. I mean, if you were watching the Bermuda Bowl, you were watching players use these same darn techniques. They can see the cards much better in their heads and stuff, but they're still doing the same thing we're going to be talking about, with a lot more built in on top of those basic techniques. So I just want to cover a couple of things first that we did in the first session because it doesn't really get taught the same. Um, and the first thing is I want you to think in terms of having basically three steps to your approach to declare play. One is to count, and the other is to plan, and the other is to think. All right, and the counting is critical. And the thing that we count first on every hand as declare or defendant or defendant. I'm a lawyer. Sorry about it. As a defender, is to count the points. All right. So so you count the points in your hand. You count the points in the dummy. You count the points that you learned about through the auction, and that will generally get you a pretty good idea of where the points are in a hand. Um, For instance, we'll just count this hand as we go. You could see that I have a good hand, right? I got ace, king, queen. I got the stiff king, and I got a four-card club suit. It's 9, 12, 14, 15, 17. I think you'll find out as we go through this. I don't add points for shortness. I don't add points for length because I don't use the points very much at all. Okay? I just count 4, 3, 2, 1 and then make judgments about how the hand will play. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you could sit and add a point for having an extra point or two in the card or two in dummy, but in my head, I just think, oh, I'm the dummy. I got a 5-card suit. That's a good thing. Um, I told you a book that I like that discusses this thing is called by Dorothy Truscott, Bid Better, Play Better. And she just calls them assets. Okay, she doesn't have a K&R system. She doesn't play Rule of 20. She doesn't play czar points. Um, she just figures out what's good in hand and what's bad in hand, right? So I can look at the King of Hearts and I don't need to figure out any mathematical equation for it. I just think, well, if my partner has the ace, it might be worth something, right? But if it gets led through, it's worth just it's nice to have a singleton there. It could be the two of hearts as opposed to the king of hearts. I'm not going to make any big deal about the math about it, right? What I see when I look at this hand, for instance, is I see a sequence in spades, right? I see an extra spade. I see a 4-card suit. I see a 6, 4, 2, 1 hand, right? And whenever I see that type of thing, I get sort of excited. Right, so anyways, we're going to open this a spade. It's an invitational hand. Let's just call it that. I'll call it a medium hand, a good medium hand. And we get a one no trump response. And I'll go ahead and bid 3 spades. Okay, just inviting in spades. We get 4 clubs, right? 4 clubs is actually a Q bid with the robots after my jump. And he's not introducing the club suit at the 4 level, in other words. But the way the robot plays, I really don't have another bid here. If I was playing with some people, I would bid the heart suit here, which would say I have a first or second round control in hearts, but I don't have a diamond stopper control. But I can't bid that way with the robot. I'll just bid 4 spades. If he's really interested in more than game, he can go on. So we count first, right? I have 17 points. My partner has 10 points. Ace, king, queen, jack, 10. So he has 10 points. So we have 27 points. My partner dealt and passed, and East didn't pass. So of these 13 points, I know for sure that East doesn't have them all, and probably West doesn't have 10 points in a suit that he wanted to bid. Right? So that's all fine and good. Now that's the first counting, right? The points. See who might have something. The second counting I like to do is just the distribution that I know, right? And I've told you in the first session, I always recommended that you use the counting game, Fred Gittleman's counting game. If you Google Bridge Winners counting game, you'll find it. You'll need to enable Flash to play it. But what it does is just gives you pattern recognition of cards adding up to 13. It's a fun little game, and you get pretty fast at it. What it means is that if I see 6-2, right, I know it's 8 cards. I don't have to do the math, right? And I know that if I have 6-3-2-2, if I see another 2-card suit, then I know that the other person has 3, right? We just learn these numbers. So we count distribution here, right? I have 8 cards in spades. No pre-registration is necessary. Emily, there's something going on with your system. If you're not, could somebody type that to her? I'll try to chat it from. Turn your computer down, Barb. It's picking itself up again. Turn your computer down. Anytime you're having volume issues or echo issues, what's happening is you're getting some sort of feedback loop where you're hearing me and then your computer is rebroadcasting it to you. You can turn it down, or you can put on a set of headphones or earbuds. Should cure that problem. But back to this hand. So we're counting. And once we've counted suits, once we've counted points, when we play a suit contract, we want to count losers. All right. Now you can count winners as well. If you go to see Cornelia Yoder teach Chick, she says count winners, and I do. I mean, well, there'll be hands when I'm counting winners, but I always count losers in a suit contract because to me that's the big thing. Now you count the losers in the hand that has the long trump. So here we're going to count the losers in south hand. And one of the reasons I think Chick encourages you count winners is because she doesn't think people count losers correctly. Let me show you what I mean. In the spade suit here, we know there are 5 cards missing. Now, we're not going to plan for 5-0 splits or even 4-1 splits, right? We're going to think about that if necessary, okay? In other words, if we have all the tricks we need, we have 11 or 12 tricks and it looks good, then we might think about, well, what if the spades break 4-1? So here we'll just figure we probably don't have a spade loser, that they will fall 3-2. If they fall 4-1, then we still could do okay. Maybe, if the jack happened to be the 1, for instance, that would help us out a whole lot. Then we could cover 4 winners. Well, maybe, but we might be able to catch another one. So a bad split will hurt us though. But for now, for this counting portion, we don't need to count a bad split in spades. Let's come back to that if we need to. In hearts, now I have the king of hearts, and it is not a loser. It's not a loser because it goes under the ace, right? Do you see what I mean? Or I play the king and the ace will not take it because I have the ace in the other hand, right? So the king is not a loser. Going to the club suit, notice that we have king, queen, jack. when you have a sequence and they're protected like this, the king is protected, a sequence of 3 honors will always net you 2 tricks. Right? So I look at the 4 clubs in my hand and I subtract 2 winners. Right? So I have 2 club losers, 2 club winners. Two club losers, no heart losers, and we go to the diamonds where I definitely have 2 losers. All right. The losers are always limited by the number of cards you have. The number of cards that you have in that suit. So I really can't have more than 2 diamonds because that's all I have. We're always counting only in the long trump hand. So we can see that we have 2 diamond losers, we have 2 club losers, and that's 4 losers right there. So we're going to hope that spades don't give us a problem on top of this. Once we know how many losers we are, right? Now we've done the counting, we know the points, we got a fair idea of the distributions, right? Now we can turn to a plan, and the plan will be how to get rid of your losers. In a suit contract, you make a plan to get rid of your losers. Now, I've got 4 losers here, and I would like to get rid of my diamond losers, right? Or because that's basically the only thing I got, right? I'm going to play the ace, king, queen of spades and hope that we get a good break. But then I will have the queen and 6 of diamonds in both losers. Fortunately, they didn't lead the diamonds, and I want to take advantage of that fact. So now I need a plan, right? Can I get rid of my diamond losers? And these are the 2 techniques that I always refer to. You have to know them inside and out. You always have to think about them on every hand, and you'd be amazed how much of a difference it will make in your score if you just do this simple process of either discarding your losers on winners in the dummy or roughing your losers with trump in the dummy. The 2 basic techniques: pitching losers on winners, roughing losers in the dummy. It doesn't do any good to roughen your hand. We'll do that for transportation now and then, but you don't get rid of any losers in your hand by roughing in your hand. So if I want to get rid of these diamond losers, I need a plan. Well, one thing I could do is I could play the ace of hearts here and the king of hearts. Then I could play the queen of hearts and throw a diamond underneath it. And that would get rid of one of them. But they've given me an advantage here, right? They've given me, I can see a different way to get rid of these diamonds. Does anybody see how I can do it? Instead of pitching under winners, can I rough these diamonds instead? I'm sorry, yeah. I don't see how, right? What if I play the ace and the queen? Pretty good so far, right? Got rid of one of my losers. If we count right now, we can see that we're missing the ace of clubs, right? So we have a club loser, possibly a second club loser, because those 3 only guarantee us 2. But we could also start to rough clubs, perhaps. But to do that, we would have to lose the ace of clubs first. And I mean, pull trump first, or risk. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the. I'm sorry, Emily's having this problem. All right. So what I did was I covered the ace, took the ace with the king with the ace, and then I led the queen, and I pitched a diamond. So I pitched a loser on a winner in the dummy. Now, the next thing I can do here is I can pull trump, and then I can try to knock out the ace of clubs. Having gotten rid of one of my losers, right? Well, I had 4 to start with. Well, if the spades break good, then our problems are over, and I will make this contract. Right? It's not hard to count that. There were 8 there. I had 8, they had 5. If they followed the first 2, then I know that they're breaking good, and here they did. Okay, so now I have only the club suit to deal with. I'll lead at the king of clubs. When it wins, lead back to the queen. Right? Now the jack is good, and in fact, because of the lead, notice that the 2 is coming at the jack 9. I'll actually get both the jack and the 9 of clubs. Now we only have the one loser, the queen of diamonds. So we went from 4 losers down to 2 losers. We did it by getting rid of one of our diamond losers on a winner in the dummy. And we did the other one basically by leading out clubs, leading at our honors, until West found himself in a bind and chose to lead back at my clubs, not realizing he'd be leading into a 10 ace, right? The jack and the 9. There's a gap of the 10, right? And basically he caught his partner's 10 between my jack and 9. So I ended up getting 650. So good hand, right? If people had not gotten rid of their losers, right? For instance, if they hadn't chosen to get rid of the queen right away, then they're never going to make 5 tricks because they win the king. And if they try to clear the king of clubs, that might not happen in 2 leads, right? And there won't be any way to get to North's hand, if you follow me. Okay, we were fortunate that they just didn't lead the king, ace and king of diamonds, and then the ace of clubs. Right, that would have held us to 4. Right, but by taking advantage of the fact that we could pitch a loser immediately on the queen of hearts, right, by simply playing the ace of hearts and covering the king, we were able to make an extra trick. That's one way of getting rid of losers, pitching them on winners in the dummy. I'm going to show you one more of the other, and then we're going to turn to the first topic, which we're going to look at in a lot more depth than we did last time. Here's the second basic technique we always are using over and over, and we'll build on it. That's going to be how we build on and learn how to do eliminations, and how we're going to learn how to do squeezes, and how we're going to do cross ruffs and avoidance plays and holdups, and all of the other wonderful techniques that we eventually learn playing bridge. Right? We build on basically these 2 ideas: pitching losers and discarding and roughing losers. Pitching losers and roughing losers. Here we have 6, 7, 10, 13 points, a fabulous spade suit. Right? This hand is, if you call this a 13-point hand, you are vastly underestimating it. This is a great hand, missing only the king, 10 of spades, no clubs, protected kings, a 10 of diamonds even to go along with it. We still open at a spade. Partner says 1, no trump, and East bids the 2 of hearts. This is beautiful. The 2 of hearts is exciting because we'll assume that the ace of hearts is in East, right? If the ace of hearts is in East, then we have the king of hearts behind it, which means I'm always going to get the king of hearts as a trick. I will always win the king of hearts. So now I've got a slew of spade winners. I've got the king of hearts as a winner. Maybe I even have the king of diamonds as a winner. Right? It is East that is jumping into the auction here at the 2 level. So I'm going to, based on that new good news, I'm just going to jump right to 4 spades. Like I said, I really don't count points. But got the ace of diamonds in the dummy. All right, counting. Well, my partner has 7 points, and I have 6, 7, 6, 13. So we got half the points. They got half the points. And we know that East came in and probably has 10 to 13 points. You know, chances are they have most of the points. You know, so I'm going to think that they're probably like 13, 7. And this matters to me because, like, when I go looking for the ace of hearts, for instance, where do I think I'll find it? I think I'm going to find it in East. Queen Jack maybe too, you know, Queen and Jack of diamonds, or the king of spades. Right? So we get a good idea. My partner's come up with 2 spades, so we now have 9 spades, missing the king. Right? So we actually have a spade loser because the hand with the ace of spades, my hand, the south hand, may have to play before the hand with the king. In other words, if West has the king behind the ace queen, and if that king is protected, we'll always get a trick. All right. The king of hearts, when I look to my heart losers, I have two heart losers. I don't think I do. I think I have one because I think East has the ace of hearts based on the bidding, right? But I have to count two losers there. So I'm up to three losers, right? And in the diamonds, I have, and this is where you have to count them right, I have two losers in diamonds, right? And why did I say you have to count them right? You have to count them right because you have to account for them. You just can't assume they're going to go away because you only have two in the dummy, which is how you learn how to sort of, how we sit around as beginners and learn things. We think, oh, got the ace king, and I only have two cards in the dummy. Therefore, I don't have any diamond losers. Well, you may not, right? That's absolutely true. You may not. But you better figure out a plan for getting rid of them. You just can't assume they're magically going to disappear. So let's figure out how we're going to get rid of losers in this hand. Well, the hearts, I think, are pretty obvious, right? We want to lead at the king of hearts, and we're going to talk about that later on in a lot more depth. But this is what we call the positional value of an honor, right? That king of hearts, that protected king of hearts, is either a winner or it's a loser. And whether it wins or loses depends on whether it plays before or after the ace of hearts. So if the ace of hearts is in east, then I should be able to score the king. If the ace of hearts is in west, then I'll probably lose the king. Right? 50-50 shot. On this hand, I don't think it's a 50-50 shot anymore, though, based on the auction. I think I'd be surprised and bummed out if East did not have the ace. So I'm not worried about that. I just know that if I lead the king of hearts, it's only going to be leading at it from North's hand. And I really wish the Robat had gone ahead and led his partner's suit, but he didn't. Right? So I think we can get rid of one heart loser just by trying to finesse it. To do that, I'm going to need to be in dummy's hand. I'm going to need to be in the dummy. Does anybody see how I'll do that? I'm going to need an entry. Maybe I could do it with the ace of diamonds. Right? Maybe I could do it with the 10 of spades. So anyways, now turning to the diamond losers, right? Remember, there's only two ways to get rid of them, basically. Pitch them on winners, rough them in the dummy. If I'm going to rough them, I need a short suit, and I kind of have one. Now, if you were to take your diamonds here and pull your trump, then you would never get a chance to rough. So the first thing you have to do on this hand is rough some diamonds. Now, could you get over roughed? Yeah, sure. That happens, right? But on this third round of diamonds, right, I had 6, they have 7. I'm going to hope that we can go 3 rounds and get the 5 of spades. Because, frankly, if I try to rough again and I'm over roughed with a queen, it's not going to break my heart. I'd already kind of counted that as a loser. Right? So now I have to get back to my hand. I could try to do this with the hearts, right? But if East goes up with the ace of hearts and wins the trick, which would be bad defense to do anything but, he needs to go up second high if I lead a heart, because he needs to lead a spade, right? Because otherwise he knows that I'm going to rough another diamond. Fourth time around. Now this could get over roughed. For it to happen, they'd have to over rough with the king. And that won't break my heart. I'm sort of planning on losing the king already. All right, so now I'm in the dummy, right? And I'm never getting back there. So it's time to lead at the ace of hearts. Ace of hearts falls. We knew that. We knew that was there. We absolutely knew that was there. And now I can just play out the spades. I'll start with the ace, hoping to drop the king. Remember, we started with 9. It means they have 4. So right now there's 2 missing, the king and a little one. And East has both of them. And they're can play this little one, I can play this big one, and the rest of the tricks are ours. All right? Now, if you and I are at the club, and you did anything but rough those diamonds first, then I'm going to get a better score than you, because I just got 11 tricks, and if you're lucky, you got 10. All right? So when you make a plan for a hand, make a plan to get rid of your losers. Right? And learn those two techniques. If you go back to the first session and go on the YouTube videos, there's lots of videos on those two techniques. Okay? But as you play in the BBO, right, and in the bill when you're playing, think about that. All right? Think about what you're doing and think about, is there a way to get rid of a loser here? All right, so now we're going to go back and talk about something maybe more basic, maybe not, maybe it's harder. And that is the position, promotion. I call it promotion. It had a catchy name when I thought of it earlier for this class. Power, promotion, and position, right? Basically, we think we know how to take tricks and with our high cards, but it actually takes a little bit more work than it seems like, right? And that obviously aces take kings. If you got the high cards, you win, but you also have all these opportunities to score on smaller cards, right? By promoting them, right? Or as we saw with that King of Hearts last time, by their position. So power, I got the ace, king, queen, jack of spades. What do you think? I'm going to lose a trick here? Power, right? That was a Trump imitation, but I thought it was pretty good. And promotion, right? Which is, I play the ace, king, queen, jack of spades, and everybody's out of those spades now. So my fifth spade, my two of spades, now becomes good. Promotion, right? And then position, by leading at honors, by making sure you're high honor, knowing there's some higher card out there, right? Putting it in the best position to take the trick. Now, on the last hand, had West led a heart, it 100% guarantees that the king will take a trick because I'm sitting in the fourth seat. You can't get any better, right? I didn't get that from West on the opening lead. So I had to be at least in the third seat, right? I had to lead at it, right? And I also would have been okay if the hand with the ace had led hearts. I just can't be the hand leading hearts if I want to make my king good, which is what I see people do all the time, and I'm sure I did as a beginner as well, right? Which is, I got a king here, I'm going to lead this suit. Well, that doesn't win you your king. Your partner leading that suit might help, but that's the surest way to take a trick with it is to be led to rather than leading it. All right, 7, 8, 9, 11, 5, 16 points. What? Goodness gracious, I have a one-note trump opener and my partner is opened. This looks fabulous. For us, let's see, 13 to 16, balanced hand. This is sort of a standard 3-no trump response. I don't have a 4-card major. I don't really have a suit to bid. I could bid diamonds, but I play a lot of match points. We just bid 3-no trump here. I don't want to give anything away. All right, so look at that club suit. Thank you, partner. So he had 7, 8, 5, 12 points. I have 16, so we have 28 points. Are we thinking we missed a slam? Well, we don't have the ace of hearts and we don't have the ace of diamonds. And in my experience, if I bid slam missing 2 aces, those are the first 2 leads. So I'm not going to feel bad about missing slam, but boy, am I going to want to take a lot of tricks with this hand. Okay, so this hand is about power. Okay, and it's about promotion. And it's about position. Right? And the first position thing we'll look at is this ace, king, jack of spades. When West leads the 7, right, it means that the jack of spades will be the last card to play to the hand. Right? So it's always going to take a trick. I'm never going to voluntarily pitch it under the queen. Right? Now you could also call this a finesse. All right? And for some reason as beginners we learn how to finesse right from the start. We're not so good at leading at honors and learning how to take advantage of position. But this is a positional play, right? Because I'll play the 4 spades, The 10 comes out, and the jack gets to win. If the queen had come out, I would have won it with the ace, and now the jack is promoted. Okay? So there we got that one. Now, in a no-trump contract, we tend to count our winners. And West gave us 1 with the lead. Then we have 2 more spades for 3. It sure the heck looks like we have 5 clubs for 8, right? And then I am missing the ace of diamonds and I'm missing the ace of hearts. So to make this contract, I'm going to have to grow up some little cards, right? I'm going to have to win the king, win a heart, win 2 hearts, or win 2 diamonds. And I think if you ask yourself that question, which is easier, to win 2 hearts or 2 diamonds, the answer becomes clear. Well, it's easier to win 2 hearts. Right? We have the king, queen, jack of hearts. A sequence of 3 should get us at least 2 hearts. Right? The only way to not get 2 hearts is to leave the jack of hearts in color and then play the king of hearts. Right? As long as we don't play 2 honors to 1 trick, we're going to get 2 heart tricks. So that's the easiest way to go about it. Right? Just lead a heart and you've set up 2 hearts. Now you have 3 spade tricks. At least 2 hearts is 5. And then the 5 club tricks for 10. So there you are. You're already to an over trick. When to do it, timing-wise? Well, as long as you can control the other suits, you can delay setting up the hearts. Frankly, I wonder why you would want to, though. I mean, to me, it seems like we go ahead and try it now. Let's see. Maybe I'm just jumping. Well, he plays the ace, right? And there's our 2 hearts. And he goes at the diamonds. Now let's look at where we're at. So we've got 2 tricks in. We have the ace of spades for 3. We have 2 hearts for 5. We have 5 clubs for 10. So is it worth, am I counting wrong? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 6 clubs up there. I don't count so good, do I? So 6 clubs, 2 hearts is 8. The ace of spades is 9. 6, 8, 9, and the 2 that I already have are 11, right? So I can't do any better, right? I could play the king of diamonds here, and that would grow up the queen of diamonds, right? But that would still just get us 11. Okay, we're going to lose 2 tricks. So what we have here, right? We have the spade to the jack. That's position, right? We have the ace, the lead of this heart to the king of hearts. The ace of hearts came down, right? That's promotion. We made our smaller honors better. And then finally, we have power. All right? Better take this ace of spades before I forget. That we have power. And that we have all of the top clubs. So position, power, promotion. Right? That's how you take tricks, is you become very mindful of those facts. Okay, so I would have claimed at this hand and the second trick, mostly for style points. I would have claimed 11, given them the ace of diamonds, and that was the only trick they were going to get. So, power, promotion, position. Let's look at another one like that. I'm going to jump in the north seat here for this hand. You're all still with me, right? Except for Emily, unfortunately. All right. So now we're in the north hand, and we'll try one up there. Is that it? No trump in the north. All right. It still didn't go over there, did it? Let me try one more time. Export, upload, deal to table. There it goes. I said, there's lots of things I like about the way this works. Sometimes I think it doesn't work that well, though. But like right now, I'm not able to get rid of this. Just move it over so it's off the screen. Okay. So I need to do, this is another one. You like this. You probably can see all the hands right now, right? Maybe not. I'm going to change you to north. And I have to actually click the host on to show all the hands. And then I have to open it up again to hide all but my own hand. When I'm doing these hands, I'm playing them blind. Although I've studied them, so it's not a big deal. Let me turn itself back on. This is another glitch. So that I have to turn the host on and off if I switch seats. It's not doing it. Host, show all hands. Oh, I'm sitting in the 2 seats still. Darn it, that's the problem. Okay, so I jump out of the north seat, south seat, put a robot there. Now I'll be able to fix this. I'm sure that in time, all these little, there we go. It looks bad in the movie if I don't have robots in the other seats. Because then we're having to study all, how many cards are there? I think 64, 58, whatever number there are. It's easier just to look at 13 and dummy. All right, so if we're only seeing north, and Sue says we're only seeing north, wonderful. So I am the dealer. I have 7, 8, and 5. I have a 13-point hand with 6 clubs. Now, these kind of hands are kind of interesting to bid. I tend to think of it as a weak no-trump hand, except I'm not so sure that it's weak, is my problem, with the ace, king, jack, 10, 8 of clubs. Right? I don't think this is like holding 12 points with a 4, 3, 3, 3 hand. Right? I don't think it's a weak no-trump. I think it's probably a good club hand. And so I'm already thinking that I'm going to rebid clubs, probably, if I get a chance to. Still can't get rid of that other hand. I'm so sorry. There we go. Two clubs. Three no trump. South ended up in no trump. Why is that? Oh, he bid differently than I wanted him to. Oh well. We can go. We'll just leave him there. We'll let him play it in 3 no trump. I haven't done that yet, but we're supposed to get the 3 no trump in the north. Oh no, we don't want him to do that. We'll never be able to catch up with him. Shoot. Sorry. And there's no way to stop like robots once they get rolling. We'll go back and see if I'm going to put myself in the south seat, and I'm going to try to get us to the auction I wanted to set. Did use the play I wanted to point out. Let's see what happened too. When I was jumping around from seat to seat, I didn't bother to count South's hand. South will actually open this hand. So let's see if it works this time. And I'm just going to stay in the seats where I'm at rather than have to go through all that rigmarole. Export. Upload deal to table. All right, now let's see if this works right. Yes. Here I have 9 points, and I actually have the right hand this time. That was completely the wrong hand. I'm sorry about that. 8, 9 points here, and what do I bid? I've got hearts covered, so I think 1 no trump is an appropriate bid here. and I'll get a 2 no trump bid from South. Well, that's swell. 8, 9 points and an invitation. I think that 9 points means go, right? An invitational bid means if you're at the higher end of your range, go. Well, my 1 no trump was at 9. I figure it's probably the top end is 9 or 10, so I go. All right, so counting, we can see that there are 7 spades out, but of the spades missing, we have missing only the king, right? Which means that we should probably get 2 spade tricks. We have 1 heart trick for 3. We have the ace king of clubs for ace king of clubs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the diamond is 6. But clearly, if we want more tricks on this hand, we're going to need to figure out how to make some diamond tricks. I'm not happy with this club lead because it makes me think that probably there are 4 clubs in East, right? He led the 2. He's leading 4th. He's probably leading from the queen jack, right? Which means I don't have a lot of room for error here. To score diamond tricks, I'm going to need to find at least 1 honor in East's hand, okay, or maybe both. I can cover the jack and I can cover the king, so it's not so bad, I guess. But I also need to be able to get to the north hand to lead these diamonds. Let's start with the queen here and hope that it gets covered. And do you see what happened there? By the covering of the queen, I now have 2 more entries into North's hand. Might not have been the best play there, West. I'm going to lead the 10 of diamonds. And I can let it ride here, or I can play the queen, right? We're missing the king and the jack. Now, who do I think has points in this hand? Right? Well, we saw West bid in this one, right? West got into the bidding. East didn't bother to respond. Good reason to think the king of diamonds is in East, and that if West has an honor in this suit, it's probably going to be the jack. We'd hate to lose to the jack, so I'm going to go up with the queen. And there's the 8. Right. So do I want to try again? This is kind of iffy here, I think. Hopefully nobody has a long spade suit. And now I try the 5. And there's the king, right? So the jack is still out there. And not only that, East had 4, right? East had 4. There were missing 5 diamonds, and East had 4 of them. And he had the king jack. He had king jack small, though, right? So we have done some promotion here, right? We're still missing that jack of diamonds. But once the jack of diamonds is gone, then our little diamonds are good, right? So this is promotion. Promoting tricks. And notice we still got control of all the other suits, and we still have an entry to Self's hand. So we'll go ahead, lead a diamond, and now all of our diamonds are good. So we made this hand by promotion. I hope that's right. I'd be embarrassed now if yeah, it was a little one. 7 and the 6 should both win. And the 2 of diamonds wins. And then the 3 of spades, the jack, gets us our last trick. All right, so if you go back when you look at the movie and see this, you'll see what we did was we promoted little diamonds into winners. Right? We only had 8 winners to start. We end up with 11 because of that. We had to keep careful track of our entries. It wasn't going to do any good to promote those diamonds if we couldn't get back there and play them, but we did. We move right along. It looks like I'm going to be making a additional movie to finish up the hands I had for this week. We'll see. First thing I will do is get out of the north seat, the south seat. Well, it's probably not worth using a north hand. I just like that hand, but it probably is a waste of time to do it that way, especially considering how long it takes to switch seats in the new version. Actually, I have to click it twice sometimes. All right. And then, with any luck at all, and I need to change what hand you guys are looking at. So we're going to go back to looking to the south. And if somebody could confirm that you're only south, that would be, oh, I can't tell yet, I guess. Export, upload, deal to table. Okay, good. Are you only on the south hand again? Thank you, Marcia. All right. 9, 6, 15 points. Right? Now, obvious 1 no trump opener. This hand has a good bidding question for you. 15 points, right? 15 points. 2 of clubs asking for a major. Sorry, none. 2 no trump. Invitational with 11, actually the way that I don't remember. They might not even have a 4-card major. I think they use a different transfer system, right? So it's an invitation. You may have 8 points. I have 15. What is my bid? 3 no trump or pass? Well, again, if points are all you're thinking about, then you got some growing up to do. The ace, king, queen, 10, 7 is a sequence that guarantees you 3 tricks, right? You know, you gotta get 3 tricks with this one. So you don't want, and then you might get a link trick for 4. And if the jack of diamonds falls, fortuitously, then you'll actually get 5 tricks in diamonds. So if you think this hand should pass, think again. It's gotta go. Gotta go. Even though it has 15 points, that's not the most important thing about it. It's that diamond suit. And thank you, Robot, for making my point. All right, so we get the diamond lead. We have a 9-card diamond suit. That means that they have 4, right? 5, 4, 2, 2. If you do it real fast, it's 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 0, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4, 2, 2. Those are the 5, 4 sequences. I love to look for 9s. And when I know there's a 9, it makes it so simple to figure out what's left. You know within 2 leads, 2 diamond leads, what the entire distribution of that suit is. Counting isn't hard. You just got to get used to doing it the right way. So winners, it looks like we have, I guess the 9 of diamonds could be out there, but we're going to win the first 4 tricks, so there's no way the 9 ever takes a trick. So we have 5 diamond winners. We have a club winner for 6. We have the ace and king of hearts for 7 and 8. All we're looking for is 1 more. Now, in this situation, what I like to look at is, well, which suits can actually yield another winner? Well, clubs is unlikely to, right? We got 6, they have 7. We're never going to get a link trick, and we're missing the king, queen, jack. So forget about clubs. Hearts, definitely. It's going to be the last suit where we expect to find another trick, right? With our 5 getting only the ace and king. So clearly, it's the spade suit. Now, the thing to get used to when you're taking tricks, when you're just relying on power, position, and promotion, so look how close the numbers are gathered together, right? We have king 10, jack 9 in spades. Do you think we can get another trick here? I think we might be able to get 2 if we're fortunate. Now, we're probably going to have to lead it ourselves. Right? We're probably going to have to lead it ourselves, but no biggie. If we want to, we can put pressure on them. Right? We always have the ace and king of hearts and the ace of clubs as transportation. So if we wanted to right now, we could start making them discard. Right? But the problem with this sometimes is we have to discard as well. Right? Here we're not going to have that big of a problem. I see what's going on. They followed twice to diamonds, right? So they were 2-2. You get a spade tossed. Now, if you're playing with people at the table when you're doing this, you say, "What are your signals, please?" Right? If they say, high encourages, low discourages, then now we just have to figure out whether the 5 is high or low, and we'll know whether they have the ace of spades. Right? That's why signals have a downside. I mean, I've got to figure out how to play that spade suit, and I got an idea already. All right, and they pitched a heart, so we don't care about hearts. And there's another spade. So they had 7 of them. They have 5 of them left. West pitched 5-2. So just perhaps, just maybe, they have the ace of spades. All right, I'm going to go up to the ace of hearts. And what I'd love to do is see the honor split, the queen in one hand, the ace in the other. And because the jack 10-9 are essentially equals, and I eventually want to play the rest of this hand out from the spades, I'll start with the jack of spades. And we get a low card, a low spade. Wouldn't it have been sweet to see the queen of spades there? Just play it, still play it like it is the queen of spades. And we get the ace. So now we know exactly where the queen is, if they're 2, right? Well, why would he win it with the ace if he could win with the queen? So we know the queen is in east, and we were going to get back there with the ace, and we were going to be able to finesse it. The dummy, West, looks bad that he's leading right into it, but as a matter of fact, he knew he couldn't do any better. He knew I was getting those 2 tricks, so he gave them to me. Right? And we get all the rest of the spades. So we were able to get 2 spade tricks, a heart trick, and a club trick. And once again, we get the extra trick. Good for us. All right. So what were we dealing with here? We had power, right? We had all of those, we had that long diamond suit, so we had power in our honors, but we needed to use a little bit of guile as well when we led the spades. We had to look at the fact that missing the ace queen and holding the ace 10 jack 7, ace jack 9 7, that we were going to be able to promote some tricks, and with any luck at all, maybe it would be 2. Right? And all that, to get 2, we just had to have honor split. If the ace and queen of spades had been after the king of spades, then we wouldn't get our 2 tricks, but we still would have made our contract. Right? Because we would have gotten 9, but we were able to get 2 instead. So, making an extra. Oops, I conceded by accident. Yeah, that's right. Okay. One more. By the way, the source of these hands, in case you're interested, I play a lot of robot tournaments, and I screw up a lot of hands, and sometimes I do well on hands. And those are the ones that tend to be, will tend to show up in class, because I save hundreds and hundreds of hands, and I file them according to technique. So if I screw up a hand, I generally don't figure it out then, but I put it into something I call the fail folder. And then when I go through the fail folder, I figure out how I should have made it. If it matches a technique that I'm interested in, then I put it in that folder and save it for another day. So these are all hands that were random. These are not created. They were random, and they are from either robot games that I've played or games I've played at table with friends, or actually some of them are from people who may even be all sitting in the kib box where I saw them make errors, and I thought, oh, well, if they did this. And so I've saved it for another day. All right. I don't know how to bid this hand, and we're out of time. Whenever I've tried to bid it with the robot, he tends to get it wrong, and we don't get to 5 diamonds. Um, as it turns out, we probably have, as long as you don't get a club lead, you'll make 3 no trump pretty easily. But if you get the club lead, obviously you don't make 3 no trump. So we get a club lead. Power, right? Ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of diamonds. We have 7 diamond winners. Ace, king of spades, right? We have 9 winners. The ace of hearts, we have 10 winners. So we got 10 winners. If we count our losers, what do we have? Well, one of our spades will go under the king, so we have 1 spade loser, right? We have 1 spade loser. And our hearts, we have 2. Well, we can't afford to lose 3. We can't afford to lose 3. So how do we get rid of a heart loser? Or I guess a spade loser. Right? Our 2 techniques, rough them in the dummy or throw them on winners in the dummy. Okay? So we can't really rough a heart, right? Because we have the same number of hearts in the hand that we have in the dummy. So there's no roughing ability. So we don't need to worry about roughing. That leaves us this spade suit where we have 7 and they have 6. And we have the ace king and we are missing the queen, jack, 10 of spades. But then we have the 9, 8, 7. Good for us. So they both follow once. I think that means they got one more. How many did we start off with? 10, 12. Yeah, they had one more. Supposed to count, but it was moving fast. So here we are with the spades. Don't really have any idea where they are, but what I can do is lead the ace of spades, and the queen falls. Jack 10 of spades left. Where do you think those are? Well, if you're playing against good players, there's a good chance this is a false card, right? If they had the jack and the queen, we don't know which they really have. But using we can kind of sense that the length is in west, right? So they may, if there was, they have 6 of them. We had 7. That means they have 5 of them. They had 5 to the jack 10, right? The jack 10. We're still in position here, right? Because we have the 9, 7. Right? They have the jack 10, so they still have the jack, but that means I can make the 7 good. Promotion. Right? So we had power with our diamonds, and then we had promotion. Now that promotion wouldn't have done us any good if we hadn't left a way to get back up there. Fortunately, with all of those diamonds, we had another way to get there. Okay, and there. So we use promotion, and what we did by using promotion is we set up a winner in the dummy. We couldn't find a winner before, but now the 7's a winner. So now we're back to one of our basic techniques, right? Throw losers from your hand on winners in the dummy. And now we have only one loser, the heart. And there we go. And then we got the last 2 tricks. Making 11. All right. So taking tricks. We're kind of talking about something that seems obvious, something you've probably done since you were kids playing hearts, something you did playing euchre in college, right? But with 13 cards, it becomes a little bit complex. The 2 of spades can become the highest card in the deck in that suit. So promotion, make the little ones the big ones, throw the little ones up. Position, right? Your king of spades might win a trick so long as it doesn't have to play before the ace of spades. And power, right? The top tricks win. Power, position, and promotion. Okay, we're going to continue on this theme for another week or so, right? We're just going to keep working on hands where we're taking tricks, try to build a little bit more of the bidding in. I have a couple more hands that I had planned for today, at least one more. And I will make a quick little movie with that one, and then we'll start with a fresh batch of hands next week. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, Maureen. So I should have a movie out fairly quickly. I made two of them. One on the PC, on the Mac, and one on the iOS. And so we'll see whether those worked. And I will post those. I will send you the link via the email list. If you want to be on the email list, then you need to give me your email, and do that by emailing me at this address. Shoot, it didn't come through. Something's going on with my chat. My good buddy Thick Skin will give you the email address. There. If you're not already on the list, email me at that thing so I can put you on the list. Okay? Thanks all. And see you next week. And please email me with any questions. And we got a lot. We got 5 Wednesdays in this month, I noticed. So are going to have a lot of fun. We're going to take a lot of these ideas, these simple ideas, and we're just going to hammer them to death, right? I'd like you guys to do the same. All right. When you're playing hands out there, see which one. Keep an idea of these techniques, and when you see one that works or how one could have worked, save that hand and take a look at it later and make sure you understand exactly what to do. But so for at least next week and maybe into the following week, we'll continue with taking tricks, power, position, promotion, rah rah rah. Until next time, thanks, and we'll see you.